But first, I want to discuss the specific challenges with microservices testing. As we said before, microservices systems have a lot of moving parts. While in a monolith system, we have one process that performs all the tasks and we know exactly what we need to test, with microservices we can have countless of processes participating in the application, each one with its own technology platform, its own database, its own API, and so on. Testing and tracing all these services is definitely not trivial, and let's take a look at an example that will help clarify the problem. Let's say this is our system composed of 4 microservices. Some of these services have database, some don't. Now let's look at a typical flow in the system. In this flow, the red service calls the blue service, which in turn calls the yellowish service. Quite a simple flow actually. Now that means that when testing this flow, the test should begin here and end here. And this poses the first problem. In a regular test with a single process application, we can have a full cycle test with this single process. We begin the test with the process's API and wait for the API response. We know the API did not access external services simply because there aren't any. With microservices, however, the result of the flow might be reflected on a totally different service, and in order to see if the test succeeded, we need to first call the red service API and then go to the yellow service and check the status. That makes the test much more complicated to build and run, and it takes much more time to figure out its results. In addition, another problem that might occur is that when the service we test depends on other services, some of them might not be ready on time for the tests. Since not all services in the system are developed in the same time, then naturally some services will be finished before others. And if these services depend on other services not yet developed, there might be a problem testing them. So let's summarize what we just discussed. The main challenges when testing microservices-based system are testing state across services, when a service calls other services and the end state is stored in one of those services, and when some dependent services are non-functional on the time of the testing. So now let's go through the 3 types of testing we mentioned: unit tests, integration tests, and end-to-end tests, and see how they deal with the microservices architecture and what should we do to make them happen.